We're here to celebrate 150 years of the G.H. Harrisons Sons. So what you're looking at is more than just a supermarket. This is 150 years of the Australian dream made real. 6 generations of one family who've shown us that you can build an empire while never forgetting your roots. It all started with a gentleman named George Henry Harrison and a simple ad in the local paper back in 1875. It read, G.H. Harrison begs to inform the inhabitants of Hay and District that he has started business as a house painter, paper hanger, glazer, plain and ornamental painter, stencil plates cut in copper or zinc, all work done promptly, charges moderate. Address, King's Royal Hotel, Hay. Now that's what I call starting small and dreaming big. In 1875, Australia is barely out of nappies as a nation. Ned Kelly's still causing trouble down south, and a young George Henry Harrison has got nothing but a paintbrush and a vision. But what a vision it was. By 1882, he'd already outgrown the painting game, bought out E. Noble & Co., expanded into timber, ironmongery, even became a local undertaker. Talk about covering all of life's necessities. When George married Florence Smith, daughter of a local pub owner, mind you, in 1884, he wasn't just gaining a wife, he was cementing his place in the community. Their boys, George and Fred, weren't just helping in the shop. They were documenting history with their cameras, capturing old Hay for future generations. The 1920s brought big plans, reinforced concrete walls, steel trusses, the works. Modern as you could get back then. And here's the thing, that building's still standing today. That's quality for you. But then, 1929 hit like a sledgehammer. The Great Depression stopped their grand expansion dead in its tracks. Lesser families might have folded, but not the Harrisons. When G.H. died in 1931, George and Fred just rolled up their sleeves and carried on. The business became known as the Popular Store, and believe me, that wasn't just marketing, that was the truth. But here's what really sets his family apart. They didn't just serve customers, they served their country. William Harrison came back from World War II and walked straight into the family business. Before him, George Harrison served in the First World War, and the tradition continues right through today, with Nicholas Harrison serving in the Australian Army Reserves. So, the swinging 60s weren't just about music and miniskirts. They brought the self-service revolution to Australian shopping, and the Harrisons were right at the front of the pack. IGA was the first self-service. They had this little section down the back, and you used a couple of little steps to get into it. Self-service was the way that people would shop today. So they would grab their trolley and grab their things themselves instead of the store person grabbing what they wanted. So, massive alterations, cool rooms, freezers, modern checkouts. They transformed the general store into a proper conventional supermarket. But you know what didn't change? The way they treated people. From those chunky old cash registers, like typewriters, one employee likened it to the early barcode scanners of the 1980s. They embraced every innovation, not because it was trendy, but because it meant better services for customers. So when scanning first started, only 50% of the items would scan in the checkout. They had to go around and get every item that didn't scan to put it into the computer. Additionally, word says David Harrison spent months and months organising this system before it came into play. So, here's where the Harrison story really shines. In an age of corporate giants and online everything, they've held on to something precious, the idea that business is about people, not just profit. Ask any long-term employee about working for the Harrisons, and you'll hear the same thing. It never felt like a job. Staff describe a workplace that felt like family, where you were valued as a person, not just a worker. Where taking time off for your children wasn't a problem, it was understood. Where loyalty went both ways. The business has evolved behind George Henry's wildest dreams. Motorbikes in the store, modern logistics, digital everything. Walk through those doors today and you'll still feel it. That same warmth, that same commitment to making every customer feel like family that started with a paintbrush back in 1875. David Harrison's and his sons manage operations now, but they're still guided by the same principles that saw their ancestors through wars, depressions and revolutions. Serve your community, treat people fairly, and never forget where you come from. In a world obsessed with disruption and innovation, the Harrison story reminds us that some things never go out of style. For 150 years, through 6 generations and countless challenges, one family has shown us what Australian dream really looks like. From George Henry to the Harrisons of today, the story continues. One customer, one kindness, one generation at a time.
Happy birthday, IGA.
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 Happy birthday, IGA.